If you talk to any small home gardener or even a seasoned gardener, beginning gardener, small farmer, you realize that one of the biggest challenges everybody faces growing a garden or having a small farm is weeds in the garden. And what I want to show you today is one of the most popular tools that I think everybody should have on their homestead if they've got a vegetable garden or small farm, and that is the double wheel hoe. We have sold these things all over the world, thousands of them, and for good reason, because they work so dead blame good. It is a mean green cultivating machine. And today I want to show you all the attachments because there's a bunch of them. In fact, all of our attachments will fit this double wheel hoe. And the double wheel hoe is the most popular one that we sell, and for good reason. Also, I'd like to show everyone my new tat I got. See there? A butterfly. And I got this tat because it means so much to me. The butterfly is something that flies around, enjoys all the flowers, enjoys it, never bothers anybody, but just enjoys life. And those bright colors there, to me, is a semblance of the way I should live my life. Boldness every day, and just give it everything we got. And you know, the best thing I love about this tat is in 3 days' time, it'll wash off. When you buy the double wheel hoe, this is what you get, just like you see it. You get the 2 wheels, the nice powder coated frame, and 4 cultivator teeth. And these cultivator teeth come with every wheel hoe, and you get 4 with the double wheel hoe. Now, to me, the ideal setup on these cultivator teeth is probably 3, 2 on the outside and 1 on the inside. That gives the soil area to move around, to flow through. Sometimes if your weeds are really tough, they can kind of clog up in here, but 3 cultivator teeth work good to me. Also, you can put 1 on there just to lay off a row. If you need to lay off a row and direct seed it, you could use 1. But what is so great about this toolbar right here is that you can adjust these cultivator teeth in any way that suits you. You can move them around, you can change slots, change directions, you can put as many on there and as aggressive as you want to cultivate or as few as you want to. The cultivator teeth, or some people call them duck feet, have been around for years and years and years, and they're probably one of the most underrated attachments for the wheel hoe, but I find them extremely useful, especially after we get a good hard rain, the ground is compacted, and you just need to go through and bust it up and aerate that soil. These cultivator teeth are wonderful for that. You know, the great thing about the wheel hoes, they're built for everyone, tall people and short people. These handles here are adjustable, so you just simply loosen these nuts right here. You kind of see the slot right there, and these handles will adjust up or down for tall people or people that maybe it's a little bit shorter. So there's a good bit of various areas where you can set these handles up to fit you, and that just makes it nice because one size fits all. Now here's our sweeps. We recently redesigned these to make them a little bit thicker there. The sweeps are versatile as well, and you can see as we got them set up here, we got them set up on the outside. You can also go switch them around and set them up on the inside, but this is probably my favorite way to set them up, and the reason is you can get out here real close to the plant and cultivate. Now you got to be careful because that blade there is sharp, and you can get too close and cut your plants off. But it's a great tool for close cultivation and for shallow cultivation. They're kind of offset there, so they kind of kick the soil up as you go through them. As you can see right there, there's a little gap there. Well, you can also use this to straddle a row when your plants are real close to cultivate in the straddle a row. Now, as your plants get bigger and you need to go down the middles, just take your cultivator tooth and put in there to cover up that gap right there, just like that. These bolts on top are in the slot there, and that slot you can move them back and forth. The sweeps also have different holes in them, so you can move them further apart or you can move them close together. Just another example of how versatile the toolbar is on these wheel hoes. We sell these plows as sets, and I recommend using both of them on the double wheel hoe. Now, if you're using the single, you can just use one, but for the double wheel hoe, it just makes sense to use both of them at the same time. I have them set up now in the furrowing position. Now, the plows are not necessarily classified as a cultivating tool. They're used for furrowing and for hilling. So if you wanted to furrow out or to bust out a trench to plant your potatoes, garlic, or anything like that, this furrowing position with the plows work great for that. Now here are the plows in what we call the hiller position. So you just simply turn them around and then you can throw up a hill. Works great for corn, potatoes, anything that you need to bed up. You got some adjustment there on top, so you can do a tight hill or you can let them out for a bigger hill. These things work great for going in there, laying off a bed, maybe for direct seeding if you want to seed on a small bed. And you just simply push it through there and it throws your hill or your bed up right there. Now the wing sweeps here are one of our newer attachments that we developed. What we did is we took the cultivator teeth and we welded some wings on there so that they carry more ground. These are our 4-inch wing sweeps. We sell these in 2 packs and 3 packs. Now we got it set up on here with 3 on there. I also like to set them up with 2, with maybe 1 cultivator teeth in the middle. It really just defines what kind of soil you have and how big your weeds are. But these things have a little kick to them. When they dig into the ground, they'll grab in and they'll, push that dirt up and push the weeds up here. They cover more area. The 4-inch wing sweeps is probably one of my favorite implements. Now here's our 6-inch wing sweeps, and as the name implies, they're 6 inches across there. Same thing, we welded these wings on these cultivator teeth here. We sell these in 2 packs and 3 packs as well. Got it set up as a 2 on here. Now what I would normally do is run a regular cultivator teeth here in the back. I think probably 3 of these is probably too much for most people. 2 of them with a cultivator teeth here in the back works pretty good. Now these I normally don't recommend with people with heavy clay soils. These work better in loamy, sandy type soils. There again, they got a good bit of bite to them and they flip the soil up as you run through them there. They cover a good bit of air there. Just these 2 wing sweeps right here, without this, covers 12 inches. Now this is our dibble wheel attachment, and this is not a cultivating tool, but this is where you can put it on your wheel hoe and you can lay out dibbles in your garden. And dibbles is what we're talking about, little small holes. You got these little aluminum points here that are on the wheel, and it dictates your spacing there. Now if you wanted longer spacing, you would just take every other one off. But these things are great for laying off for planting, if you wanted to plant direct seed, or if you wanted to plug and put in your transplants. They work great for that. Automatically lay off your space and put your little indention into the soil there. We sell these as singles, doubles, and triples, and you can use all 3 on the double. Now the double and the triple, we have a rod goes through here, and you can lay off and move these around. You can lay off 3 rows at a time if you'd like to. These work absolutely wonderful for our 162 transplants. When you're transplanting, you go out there, push off your rows, lays off your space, and pull the plugs out and put them in there. Makes transplanting real quick. Also works good for onions and garlic as well. And this is our harrow attachment. We really had a hard time keeping these in stock for the last couple of years. But the harrow works really good on sandy, loam type soils. I don't really recommend it for those hard, compacted clay soils because you don't have enough weight for it to bite down. But it works great in those sandy or loam soils. Now they have these little pins right here that you can pull out, and you can set these discs at any angle you want to. And you can see there you can turn them around to be as aggressive as you like and just simply stick the pin back in there. So they're fairly adjustable, user friendly. Now if you'll see here at the end, let me see if I can get this pin back in here. You see here in the end right here, there is a little gap there in the middle. Now that gap allows you to be able to go through there and cultivate on straddle a row and be able to cultivate on both sides of those plants again when they're small. So it's just another great tool or attachment you can use to weed when those plants are small and when weeds give you that trouble. Now as your plants get bigger, and you may want to use this hair down the middle of the row, you always take your cultivator tooth here, stick up front to see there, to fill in that gap there. And you can adjust these more in so they don't maybe dig or bite as much. Now, our double wheel hoe is the only wheel hoe that our drip layer attachment will fit on. And if you're not using drip tape, you're missing the boat. Absolutely a wonderful system to use in your garden. But the drip layer attachment allows it to be a one-person job instead of a 2 to 3 person job. So you can actually dig your fur, or you can just put it on top of the ground and push through there. And the drip layer attachment unrolls the tape, lays it in the fur on the ground, and actually covers it up with the plows there in one pass. Normally take a little stake the drip tape down there at the end so it doesn't move or follow you, and it stays there, and you can lay some drip tape in a hurry right by yourself, one-man job. Now here are our oscillating hose, and these oscillating hose are a great tool, probably the toughest implement or attachment that we have here. 1/4 inch steel right there, and this right here, the blade, is what we call high carbon spring steel. Some really tough stuff, and it's sharpened. Now the oscillating hose are called oscillating because they oscillate 20 degrees each way. So if you want to back up, they just simply flip, and you can cut going backwards, and then you go back forwards, and they cut going forwards. Now this is the 8-inch here, which is probably our most popular oscillating hoe, and I recommend this for those people that's got these hard, tight, red soils that are really tough to cultivate. This right here is going to be the implement for you. We have them on there. You can set it up front here, or you could possibly move it on into the back right here. I always kind of set it up front there in that frontward position, but these things cut like butter. Now this is our 12-inch oscillating hoe, and yeah, you guessed it, it's 12 inches across here, so you're carrying a 12-inch path as you go down through the row and cut. Again, these oscillate 20 degrees both ways, 1/4 inch steel, high carbon, sharp spring steel blade there, and 12 inches, so you can get a lot done in a hurry. I don't recommend these for those hard clay soils, as we do recommend the 8-inch for that. But if you got those sandy loam soils, you can cover a lot of ground with the 12-inch oscillating hoe. So it's a great tool for clearing out those paths or middles of the roads. Now here are 6-inch oscillating hose set up as what we call the spreader bar bonus buy. Now with the spreader bar bonus buy, you get 2 6-inch oscillating hose, and you get a spreader bar. And that allows you to cultivate in between the straddle row and where your plants are in between there, and cultivate on both sides. And this thing here is extremely versatile. So you can set it up so that you can move these in at different spacings. See if I can get it here. When your plants are small, you can move it in tight, as you see there, and as they get bigger, you just loosen your bolts and move them out. So these 2 6-inch spreader bars carry 6 inches on each side of the plant. Well, as your plants get bigger, and maybe you want to use this to cultivate inside your row, just take something like one of the 4-inch wing sweeps, and you can put on here at the back, and you can carry a big area there and cultivate. One of our most popular accessories or implements is the spreader bar bonus buy. So if you want to know more about our products, or you want to learn more about vegetable garden, check out these videos.